to the second episode of our M.M.M conversation. The last episode was just,
it was
my
fire.
Goodness,
Fire.
it was
Fire.
fire. And we hope that we can continue.
Let's not even hope.
Let's
just know that.
Let's ascend.
In fact, can we match what
We
Yes,
can do
now
all
we have the
things
grace.
through Christ who was
Strengthens
us. Okay, so now let's talk about overcoming poverty mindsets, right? We spoke about mindsets and attracting wealth as it relates to navigating the relationship with the opposite sex. I know that sounds like, what are you even saying? But an example would be how some guys think that they can't approach a girl because she's too expensive for them. How some girls say they can't get married to somebody that doesn't make less than, or what do they say these days? They can't get married to someone who makes less than 40,000 or 50,000, not dollars though.
50,000 what?
Naira. Let's say naira.
In which Nigeria? In this Nigeria.
Wait,
I was expecting to say dollars. So. Naira.
you see, that's where we are coming.
Even coppers don't earn 40.
They don't anymore. So who is not going to be
No, but there are
marrying
people
somebody
who,
that's earning
there,
40,000
but there are people. So now.
Okay.
So now, these are the issues. These are the issues.
These are the issues.
Okay.
So let's talk about it then.
So really, it, like we've said over and over again, it's all in the mind. And I've heard some guys say, oh, I must maybe build a house, have a car, have a 6-figure job or whatever before I get married. That no poor man gets married. But that's not true. I'm so sorry to say, but bus drivers, they do get married, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mechanics, they get married,
Yes.
right? And people who are not, they don't necessarily have all these things. So like we've said over and over again, it's a mindset thing. Now, beyond that, beyond all the physical, sometimes we get too engrossed in the physical. I must have a car, a house, yes, but are you ready? Are you ready? So having a house and a car and a good job does not qualify you to be married. Right? A lot of people have those things and unfortunately still don't end up well in marriage. So it's all about the mind. Now, when you talk about poverty in marriage, it really starts from the mind.
Yeah.
You can have all these physical things outside, but you are poor in your mindset. How do you treat your wife? How do you treat even yourself? Because it starts with yourself. How do you treat yourself? How you treat yourself reflects on how you treat those around you. Right? So if you are thinking that, okay, I must get a certain level, anything can happen in marriage. Like we've had people who've had this so-called, okay, we've had a good job and a good car and a house, and then God forbid something happens along the line.
Yeah.
And then
It's
they
gone.
lose it.
Yeah.
So your mindset will really help you maintain, go through all these stages and these levels. Yeah, anyway.
Wow.
I love that. Okay, so I would just wanted to talk on the singlehood part, but I just want to add to what you're saying for the lady's point of view. So we have a lot of ladies say, I want a rich man. I've seen, oh my
Nobody wants
goodness,
to suffer.
I want a rich man. I want a wealthy man. I want this, I want that. Which is not wrong, because me, myself, I do have what I want, and I know I have my reasons. But then, what are you doing if, let's say, a man that is really wealthy, a businessman approaches you, what do you have to offer?
What value
that
are you
man
bringing?
Yeah.
There's something that I learned, right? And that's on responsibility. And it was from a sermon by Dr. Miles Monroe. When you're asking God, I want a house. I want a big house. I want a big house. But then look at your toilet. Look at your bed. You have not handled what God has given you, now for the moment, and you're requesting for more. So like, I also believe that irrespective of mindset and all of that, I think we need to put in the work in preparing ourselves as women. There's something that I also learned that, we need to understand, we need to not just understand, I think we understand, but we have not really accepted our role as women. Some people be like, okay, I want a rich man so I don't have to suffer or I don't have to work. But then what are you not entering marriage for?
Yeah.
You think marriage is bed of roses? It's not like that. It's not bed of roses. You have a role to play. Look at
there's
Proverbs.
work to do.
There's work to
Look
do.
at the woman in Proverbs chapter
31.
Yeah.
When the Holy Spirit led me to that scripture, first I was looking at it. I was looking at it from the angle, because how he broke it down for me, I was looking at it as from the angle of Christ and me, his bride. I was like, okay, this is what I would do. Before he was like, okay, good, but then my dear, look,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, see, you have work to do. Cooking, that I know how to cook. I love to cook, but then there are some things that you have to upgrade yourself, on and put in the work.
Yes.
So I feel in this generation, the part of the normalized nonsense spoken about in the last episode, this is it. We want some things that we're not prepared for. And if you're not prepared, why would God give you? He loves you, but he loves his son too. Like, come on. Like, yes. You want a man that is studies, that he has money, but you don't know how to, your budget for this month. Have you done it? Yes, exactly. So we need to really work on that as women. I'm on your side, though. No, don't get me wrong, but then call a spade,
And a shovel,
A shovel.
Yeah. What do you want to say? What do you think?
Well, I think I mean I was just listening to them. In cases like this, I usually like to listen a lot than I speak. But I know that the truth is, like we said, you cannot be somebody and want to attract something else.
Yes, you are what you attract.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
Absolutely.
You can only attract
Who you are.
Absolutely.
You want him to be all over the moon. You are right here on it. Can you just ascend or something?
Ascend. At least.
Ascend.
And
you're not putting any work on
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
And also talking about the flip side of it, where some guys now just have this mindset where I know sometimes it's not really the girl's fault, because I think it's a society thing. There was a time when it was never really a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could rent a room
Yeah.
where there
You
is
start with
Yeah.
you start
You
from
start,
a
yeah.
yes.
And you
go
start
and
to
hear all the
build.
stories of
Of our parents,
yes.
Yes.
How we build together.
But now
Nobody wants to
we
build.
don't want to
Please
build.
miss me with the
So
building.
thank you. Bring the building.
Bring the beauty to me.
We're
I
not
will
building
manifest
anything.
it.
But so that's the part for the women, and I think you've talked about it. I don't really want to overemphasize it, but I also want to talk about the side of the men, where they think that every woman is in this space. Not every woman is in this space.
Yeah.
And I think it's an inferiority complex kind of thing, even though
For the guys.
Yes, for the guys.
Yes.
Because they think that, and I have a number of friends who are like that. They don't say it, but I know it. And sometimes when we try to confront, it's like, it's not like I'm scared, but you just don't think that you are not doing so badly. And it's not like the girl has arrived. She's just also, and I think that because women of these days, we are working.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are not sitting down. We are really working. And we are not just doing one thing, we are doing like several things.
Yeah.
So when the men now see it, now they be like,
So I think
Intimidated.
they're intimidated.
it's
Yeah.
intimidation, and I think that we need to move with the times. So the men I think they are backing down sort of.
To step
Yes.
out from
Then
that.
if we are stepping out and are wanting to be more, it doesn't mean that you cannot match us, or by matching I don't mean go and do many things.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that it doesn't mean that we're just saying, you have to now be over and above before you can be with us. No, we're just trying to tell you that maybe it's just the season. God has just blessed
It's
us
the
so
season.
much
Yeah,
that
it's the season.
we
Why
really
not?
just
Yeah.
want to do a lot of things. For me, sometimes I wonder why I don't want to sleep on my bed and just be fine. But in my head, there are just so many things that I want to do. It's not because I want to have more money than a man.
Yeah.
No. So I think it's also for whichever man stumbles on this video, we hope that you do and you listen to this. That's not where we are at. Not all women are there. We are not there thinking, okay, because we're doing all of this, we need you to do so many things. There are women who still want to grow with you.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
build with you.
build with
Yes,
you.
come, bring your ideas. Let's know what's going on in your mind.
do
They
it.
don't want to talk about
Hey,
it.
come.
They
Let's
don't-
make
I don't know, like,
money.
I feel like the men are now scared. We don't bite.
We don't buy. 2 heads are better than one. Come
I'm
on.
just kidding, but I think that not all women are in that space. We
Yeah.
are not all looking for men who have arrived. We are also in that space where we want to, because we are also not there. We're
Yeah.
building.
Yes.
So
Growing.
come as you are, be open, be transparent. This is where you're at. And then you don't know. We are nurturers.
Yes.
So you don't know how you share your idea with us,
we
and we
help
can
you
help
build.
you.
And we help you.
And it's not all girl will say, hey, I was going to help you to become who you are today.
Because
Not
there's that fear as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So I think men have a lot of fears.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm they have not admitted. have not come-
So we are hoping that they come to that point where they can admit.
So that's why
that's why we're here telling you that not all women.
We're telling our producer as well who is behind the scenes that we need to work with men. We need to create programs to ensure that men are growing on their own journey. They're able to develop the boldness, the confidence to approach our sister girls. And not be afraid that because she looks all put together, you can't.
Why shouldn't I look put together? My dad. Interestingly, my dad, I had a conversation with my dad a couple of months back, and he called me and said, because I think I had gotten a new job or something around that. And he was like, he looked at me and said, this girl, you are ascending. Since ascending is the word. You are ascending. Hey, like, what's going on? Are you sure you will not just calm down and at least get someone so that men will not be...
They won't be afraid to approach you.
Yeah. And I said, Daddy, you see those men that you're talking about, those are the men I don't want.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't need them anywhere near me.
Because
I have not even started.
Yes.
Come on. So if they're already intimidated, they should just go and pack and look for the ones that will, plaster their ego or something. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I had to tell my dad, because apparently it's a mindset thing. So if my dad, and I respect my dad so much, but if my dad could be thinking about it in that perspective, so it means that it's a societal issue.
Yes,
and men need to grow out of it. We know that our men were raised in a certain way to think that, you have to be this, you have to be above, but hey, it doesn't have to be that anymore.
And we need that balance. We need to recognize that for us to have a healthy society and a sustainable society, the man has to play his part.
Absolutely.
The woman has to play her part, right? Even on the family front. And that's why it's important that we work on ourselves, we invest in ourselves so that we can build healthy families. Because a healthy family is a must for a healthy society where children can grow up responsibly and then go out of the family unit into the larger society and play their parts when it comes to nation building. Now, how can you want to say something?
Yes. I want to just chip in something with what you said. There is this quote that I saw. I don't know if it relates like that, but
You've already started
Finnish
now.
man. A Finnish woman is safe in the hands of a Finnish man. So then they will raise Finnish children, and then they will now complete the Finnish. They will go ahead to
Finish the society or what?
to advance the Finnish works of Christ.
That's good. That one is good.
I was like, okay, where is this headed? I hope it's not ending to a finishing or something. But that's
really good. And there's something that is very important to note at this point. Sometimes when we talk about, I think that was what you were trying to say. And when you talk about like maybe having like a strong man and a strong woman, a Finnish man and a Finnish woman, most time people think that it is men against the women, and it's not. It's no one is taking anyone's role. Exactly.
They're supposed to
It's
help
not
you.
a competition. It's just people being strong in themselves, right? Because it's only when I'm strong, you're strong, the man is strong, the woman is strong, that like Zena, so we can, build what we really need to be focusing on. Right. So it's really not a competition, like we've said. It's just everybody being strong and complete and whole and healthy in themselves. And then when we now join together, we can see the ripple effect, of having very strong, whole, healthy, God-loving, God-fearing people together. And we're able to build.
That's so good. It reminds me of what Dr. Ify was saying when she said, recognize your strength. Understand your weaknesses. With humility, work on your weaknesses.
Work on it.
And then as you build with your strength, then we can come into that place of integrated and sustainable, healthy living. As we wrap up this particular episode, I know that we touched on different aspects of mindset, money. Let's talk about attracting wealth.
Hey.
Wealth is a mindset.
Yes.
Abundance is a mindset.
It is.
And with the way the world is set up, inflation everywhere. I mean, I was reading something the other day, and I think I shared that earlier, how someone said every time they go to the market and they come back and they see the price of things and what's in comparison with what they get, that they will just take like 5 dosages of Godabexilin. Godabexilin is like
God, oh, no, very needed.
So how can we have this abundant mindset? Because God still has a cattle on 1,000 hills, silver and gold in Haggai 2:8
Has
and
not
9. It
changed.
hasn't
Not changed,
changed.
yeah.
Has not
So
changed.
how can we come to this place of living with an abundant mindset, living above? I mean, the Bible says we are in the world, but we're
Yeah.
not of the world. Living above the systems of the world, and that abundant mindset is actually what helps us attract wealth.
Yeah.
That abundant, even though I've started answering the question, but that abundant mindset is what helps us do that inner work of
Yeah.
developing ourselves, fine-tuning our values,
Yeah.
building the kind of relationship required for us to step into that zone of walking in abundance. So let's talk a bit about attracting wealth and having an abundant mindset.
Okay, can I just quickly add before Omaya goes on? So about this, I think one major problem, one thing that really causes this is I truly feel like people are scared of money. When you are scared of something, you will I say you have that, you don't want to lose it, like
You're hoarding.
you're
Yeah,
hoarding.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when you hoard it, so now let me explain using this example. When you recognize, for me, this is how it is and this is how it works for me. Having an abundant mindset first starts with recognizing that God is your source.
Absolutely.
And
Not your salary.
and not your
Absolutely.
salary.
Absolutely.
So when that fear of, oh, I don't want to lose this thing, I don't want to lose this thing. Have you ever tried just, because money comes, money goes. It's not a myth. It's not that is reality. When you let money go, I'm telling you, you just
And
see
that's
how it's
giving.
yeah, that, oh, sorry, when I say it
Yeah.
doesn't mean designer
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah,
It
that's
does not
giving.
mean yes, it
Giving.
means when you give, when you try sowing a seed, try paying your tithe, try giving to
Or
somebody
even helping
in
your
need.
neighbor. Yes.
Try
in need.
helping your neighbor. It can be something very little. It can be like 5K. It can be like 10K. But do it little by little. Let that money. You will not be scared of it.
Someone says it's like have an act of mercy every month, if
Yes.
possible. Act of mercy, because that's people don't recognize that that's one of the ways to cultivate. You give.
There are
away.
principles to these
Yeah.
things. Yes.
You give with with inflation in times like this. People think that let me
holding
save
back.
all I can and
Yes.
hold
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But I've read and I've seen that it's in the season when things are tight. You should even increase your giving.
Yes.
I mean, speaking about that, look at the widow of Zarephath. Yeah?
Yes,
Was Elijah or was it Elisha?
Elijah.
Elijah. Okay, that because I always confuse them. So Elijah meets the widow of Zarephath. She had, and it was a season of famine. There was
Yeah.
no food in the land. All she had was for her son and herself to eat and
And
die.
Die.
And then Elijah brought life, but he brought it in the most unexplainable way, unimaginable way. Why? How would you come and ask me to give you what I have?
The last
Before
the
I
last-
die.
Yes. The last.
And what I was thinking, at least I will eat and die. But you will become hungry before you
You
die.
want to quicken the death.
But well, Elijah says, "Give me," and it was when she gave that there was a provision.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was when she gave that there was a provision.
Yeah.
If she had not given,
Yes.
she would have actually eaten and
And
died.
absolutely.
So it explains that even in a
Absolutely.
season
Mystery.
like this,
absolutely.
it's really not in holding back. I remember that I think last month or 2 months ago, were like one of the toughest. I mean, it's been tough.
I mean, yes.
And it's in this season that God has been just sending some kind of people my way. I'm like, Lord.
Honestly speaking,
I do
though,
not see-
I do not see
I
what
also
is
need-
going
I also
on.
But when I see situations, I'm like, even girl, look at you still have something.
Yeah.
You still have something. You have something to remember. She had to eat.
Yeah.
Even Elijah didn't take everything. Said, just give me, and then you and your son share. So there was still going to be something for her and her son to eat.
Yeah.
So Elijah was not the prophet that said,
Give me
those
a-
prophets of these days. Give me if I go home and lie on your bed and cry and die there, but give me. No, that's not what Elijah did. There was still something left. And God was showing me that there's still something left.
Yeah.
So even when you give, even though what you think you have is not enough for what you anticipate, all the things that you anticipate to do, but there is still something to take care of body and soul.
Yeah.
So give.
Okay.
So when these different people and different situations would pop up, I would sometimes like, God, well, I trust you, I
Yeah.
give.
Yeah.
And even now, I mean, there's a situation in my house and I'm like, I'm just going to spend my money and take care of my household because, Lord, I know that you allowed this situation to happen and I am certain that you have something planned. So it's just us understanding that these situations will come, but
Yeah.
God already has a God is God.
Yeah.
And
God.
you know, God is your God. God is God, and God is your God. One of the things the Holy Spirit has reassured me of in recent times is, I am with you and I am for you.
Yes.
So understanding that He's not just with you, but
Yeah,
is
it's
also
it's
for
on
you.
your
So
side.
your cruise of oil cannot run dry.
Yeah.
For where?
But you must learn to give. So having that mindset is very important, but also having a mindset of diligence is very important.
Yeah.
The Bible says, "Yes, thou a man diligent in his
Yes,
business,
yeah,
he'll stand
stand
before
before,
king, he won't
yeah.
stand before
Mere
mere
men.
men." It is very important in times like this. These are not times where I know that sometimes it feels like, oh, I don't want to do anything anymore. I just want to. No, it's in times like this that double the hustle,
Yeah.
do more.
Okay.
I know.
I know,
Fear was about to pick on
but
the hustle.
the hustle there is. I'm
Like
not talking
work-
about.
Your
I'm
work,
talking about
your work,
working.
yeah.
Work
I'm not
hard.
saying no.
Double
God
the
has not
working
called us to
hand.
hustle.
Yeah, God has
But
not
it's
called us
just
to
a
hustle.
hustle. It's not hustle, God has not- But I'm just using that as a slang for work. Actually, work. This is when you should work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't say, "Oh, this is time. I'm tired. I mean, all the
No
work I've been
food
doing
for a lazy
is not paid." But
man.
please work,
Yeah.
because that's what God will bless. And you don't
Exactly.
even know how
Exactly.
God will
Will
bless
yeah.
you.
Exactly.
Do you know
It's-
what I just remembered?
Yeah.
Give me 2 billion.
Oh yeah, you know, and I was like, God,
Dash me 5
that's
billion.
me. And the guy say, hey. I mean, these are the things that we want.
Yes.
And we are in a season where, especially with what is on social media, celebrities are making us think,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is not reality, that you don't have to do so much to have a lot.
Yeah.
And now many people, young people, just think that, why do I have to
Remember-
do a lot?
Yes.
Why can't I just do a skit?
Yeah.
Even skit making is not easy. Go
It's
ask
not, it's
them.
not,
You
it's
just
not.
want to sit down and money will fall on your table.
It doesn't happen
Money
that way.
fall.
It can't fall on you, even if you sing it from now
No,
till
no,
next
Yeah,
year.
like the prophets of God that were singing and cutting themselves. It's
Have you finished cutting? Cut
Not
some more.
again, cry. Like, it doesn't work like that. So in this season, as much as you trust God, you have to be doing something.
something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just have to do something. This is not a season where you fold your hands. You
Yeah.
tried something, didn't work, try again.
Again,
Try
yeah.
something else.
Yes.
Just keep
Don't
at
stop.
it, because it's in doing that that God would then come through. You don't just know how. We've seen God come through I've seen God come through in very funny ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I did something that I never put my mind to, but I just did it with my heart. And then later somebody's coming and say, "Oh, because of," I'm like, that thing that I didn't think made sense at the time. Some things may not fetch you the kind of money that you need at the moment, but is it a diligent work? Is this something that is good? Do it. You don't have to just say, "Oh, I want to now go and I want to go to that place where all those people are doing stuff that's bringing me." Excuse me.
And then you even step out of your purpose.
Yeah.
It reminds
Yes.
me of what Solomon says in Ecclesiastes when he says that you plant your seed in different areas because you don't know which one will
one,
spring
yes.
up.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
understand? So one of the mistakes that I see, and something that's prevalent in this generation is you want to, like you said, do a skit and make $500 from that one skit.
Yes, so-
and like
And be made.
it just
And be
baffles me.
made.
You do, and that, I mean, so
God.
I'm just hoping and trusting that through this conversation we're able to bring insight and encourage people to put in the work.
Yeah.
You can't do away with
Work.
working.
You
Even
must
Jesus
work.
walked.
He worked the
He
works
walked,
of
like,
his father
even
who
Jesus
said, yeah.
walked.
And Adam was created to, even in the garden, he worked. He was
Yeah.
supposed to tend the garden, tend
Yes.
to the.
I think everybody just wants to be a content creator now.
Even content creator is work. Is work. They think, people just see the glitz
And
and the
most
glam
of the
and they don't
people
know
who have made it, go and check
where they
They've been doing
started
track
from.
record.
Yes.
Can we talk
Yes.
about consistency now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Faithfulness. That's another word
Yes,
for
and
consistency.
stewardship.
Yeah.
Yes.
People just think that, okay, I'm just going to wake up one day and blow. It doesn't work like
Doesn't
that.
work
There's
like
sacrifice.
that.
You have to sacrifice and you have to be consistent.
Yes.
You have
And
to
excellent.
hone
Thank
your
you.
craft.
Hone
right?
your craft.
Don't wake up today, say I did carpentry today, did not work. Tomorrow I'll go
Let's
and
move
do
to
plumbing
photography.
or photography.
That camera will
Can you at
break.
least just stay at something?
You know? So like even if just be consistent and be
Yes.
faithful. Like we've said this over and over again. Like this generation, right? We just want to blow one day.
Sharp.
But there's work that is required. There's work that is needed. People say, I wanted to mention his name, one of our rich men in Africa. He works, right? He works. So you have to work, be faithful, and be consistent. People just want to be, I'm sorry, but we're talking about our young people and all that. But there is a space for faithfulness. When you find something to do, don't do it well, right?
Excellent.
Don't just
It's
do it,
not
but do
an
it well.
opportunity to go and say, this is my opportunity to steal, to carry, to move,
do it
you know,
well.
and
Be
because that's what
faithful.
we.
Yeah.
I know it's really sad,
Be
but
faithful in it. Be humble,
faithfulness.
faithful, and be
It's
consistent and
important.
serve.
Service, not just
Service,
what
yes.
is in it for me.
These are the things God blesses. These are the things God says,
Come
okay, this is my
on.
servant. We are
Yes.
stewards,
Yes.
right? And as a steward of God, in whatever you are doing, even if you are in the music, in whatever industry you are, you have been called to serve a purpose in that place.
Shine light
Right?
in that place.
So when you are faithful in it, you are consistent, you serve people, and you work hard and you work well. Tell me why you will not be blessed in whatever you are doing.
It's
So
just
these are
a
their
matter of
keys.
time.
Yes. So there are keys to, to really making it. There are keys to being everything that you even dream of. But when you apply all these steps, you are faithful, you are consistent, then you will see the
I'd say
results.
Trust the growth process.
Yeah, trust the
Absolutely.
process.
There is.
There's
It's
a process.
It's
There
not
is.
And that process
overnight.
is even more important
Than
than the
the- yeah,
destination.
absolutely.
Yes, and
True.
try
You
to
know?
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't be complaining. Why are you always complaining?
Like
Might not be
children of
easy.
Israel.
Yeah, it
Because
might
you are
not be easy.
comparing.
I was about to say
that
that is the
one.
one thing that is wrong with this generation. Compare. I think that okay, what I have is good enough until I start to compare it with
Even
you.
Solomon, no, but Solomon said it. He
Yeah.
said that the folly. Was talking about how people because of the jealousy of what they see their neighbor has.
Yes.
I'm paraphrasing now. They put that stress on
on
themselves
themselves,
to want to
Yeah.
get
it's not
there.
needed. Yeah, everybody is in different phases and
Different
in different seasons. I can't
seasons.
compare my season with you. I can't compare
And
my
even
season
where
with
I'm
you.
headed,
Exactly.
different.
Know what.
Yes.
Another thing, like know what success means to you.
Yeah.
What success means to me is different from what,
And
and I might be doing things
and-
in my own definition. You'll be
Yeah.
looking at me
And
wanting to.
remind
It's not-
yourself of
yes.
it,
Yeah.
because there's so many things that would teach you otherwise.
Absolutely.
Every day we interface with them. So I think we have to do more work in this generation than in previous generation of
Absolutely.
reminding ourselves of what success means to us, because now we get to see different definitions of success.
Absolutely.
And you have to keep reminding yourself. So even when it seems like it's not working, or there's a setback, or there's a challenge,
Yeah.
just keep reminding yourself of
Yeah.
this is what success
Yeah.
means to
Yeah.
me.
Wow.
Absolutely.
It takes work. Everything
it
we've
does.
spoken about. It takes work, it takes patience, it takes being in the right circle, having the right support system,
Access to the right
investing.
resources.
Support system.
Yeah.
Support system. If you start talking about
Ah.
support system, we'll not go today.
Yeah.
But that we all just need to commit to that work of investing in
Yeah.
ourselves, enjoying the process, knowing what success means to us,
yeah.
and just living according to God's purpose
Purpose is
and plan.
God.
Because that's the
Yeah.
best place to be.
Absolutely.
You're not trying to be anybody else. You're living DK will say you're living according to God's prototype
Yeah.
for you. And truly that's how we're able to overcome the challenges that we see around us, and we're truly able to live that life of abundance. And don't forget, abundance is not just about money.
Absolutely. Yes.
There's several
yeah.
you can go and check. Miles Monroe has a message on YouTube where he talks about the 7 spheres of wealth. You can go and listen to it, right? For instance, that's an addition for you. But thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.